Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm coming to you from the car today. My kids are playing at the park, so I figured it was a good time, since my youngest is sleeping, that I would just come on here and give an update. Since today is officially 2 weeks since my E-Day. I know it's been a few days since I've updated. It was mostly due to, I figured, why say the same repetitive things over and over again if there wasn't anything that really changed. Although, I did go to Aspen Dental on Tuesday, and I, more than anything, needed an adjustment. I had my dentures rubbing in a few spots, and I wanted them to just simply shave it down. They insisted on doing a soft reline, even though I know I was not ready for a soft reline. My gums were not nearly healed enough for a soft reline. I still had very jaggedy sockets. Even in the reline, you could see where they would like go into the holes, and I kept thinking to myself, as I heal, how are these sharp like parts of the reline going to fit in my mouth if my holes close? Which is kind of what's been happening. So, needless to say, the reline made my, well, fast forward, I don't have a reline in right now. I took it out myself because I couldn't stand it anymore. But anyway, we'll get to that. The reline made me have worse speech than E-Day. Like, I couldn't talk without having a slur. I mean, I still hate the way it sounds right now. I feel like something's off still, like I need to shave down my palate a little. But I mean, I could barely talk. And like, when normal without a reline, my denture feels really snug. Like, it's almost too tight. So I know I did not need one, because I know the whole point of a reliner is if your denture is loose, it tightens it. My denture is not loose. So the liner was unnecessary. It also caused me to not be able to eat. It made the one side of my denture really far down, and the other side was like really far up. So like, even if I chewed on both sides, it was just lopsided. And the worst part is the liner made it loose. Like I said, my denture is super tight, and the liner made it to the point that if I was even talking too much and say I had too much saliva in my mouth, the denture would just flop out of my mouth, like loose. Like if I was talking too hard, or say if I was laughing, it would just fall out. So I called Aspen. They couldn't get me in until next Wednesday, which was literally like 8 days after I had it done. So I waited. I stayed miserable for 2 days, and then yesterday I finally decided to just take the liner out myself. I couldn't stand it anymore. Basically I just peeled it out with my fingernails, and then at the end it was a little tight around the palate, so I used a tweezer, but I did not, like, I made sure not to scrape the denture itself, and I was like soaking it in a Polydent rinse in the meantime, like warm. I did finally get to the doctor and get treated for thrush. My dentist was a freaking joke. I couldn't speak to them until Tuesday because they weren't in until Tuesday. I'm not really sure what update I gave last, but I couldn't speak to my dentist until Tuesday. I called on Tuesday, and basically they told me my specific dentist wasn't in until Thursday to call back then. Or I could just call my family doctor, which, whatever. I understand a family doctor can give me a simple prescription for the medication that I needed for the thrush. The point is, I shouldn't have to reach out to my family doctor whenever this is an oral problem caused by something that happened at the dentist. Therefore, the dentist I paid for my care should be there to help me. I was super frustrated in the fact that they didn't even have an emergency number over the weekend whenever I was having concerns about sockets and blood clots. So I talked about my frustration. I told the receptionist, that their care was unacceptable, and I can't believe that I went there, and blah blah blah, whatever. I ended up hanging up angry. They called back later trying to apologize and trying to get me in, like they gave a shit then. Try again, whatever. I just went to my doctor, which I did have to go in, but she gave me the medication that I needed for the thrush. It's not gone, but it is getting better, thankfully. Eating is still the same. I mean, it's getting better. I'm trying new things, but basically it's just very small bites, very, very, very small bites. I'm not trying anything crunchy yet. Everything's still pretty soft. I have no like really good advice on like things to eat, because I've just been eating anything and everything that is soft that I can find that looks appetizing at the store. A lot of TV dinners, a lot of like, what do I eat? I've been eating a lot of toast with a lot of jelly and hot tea to make it kind of mushy. Pasta, lots of pasta, unfortunately, and I hate sauce. I don't hate sauce, I love sauce, but my stomach hates sauce because I have stomach ulcers. But other than that, like, I am supposed to go back to Aspen on Wednesday for supposedly another liner, even though I'm gonna tell them I don't want a liner, I simply want an adjustment. The denture is rubbing in a few spots. Like, I do have some sore spots along the top. It's a little too tall, but it is what it is. It feels better than that stupid liner. Like, I know they're supposed to make you feel better, and it just did not make me feel better at all. I have lost 10 pounds so far. That is fortunate and unfortunate because I didn't mean to, but I mean, I have been on a journey to losing weight, so I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I do kind of miss eating. I miss just biting into something and eating it, because I just don't feel like I'm getting that like satisfying feeling from eating right now, which sucks. But I know if this is the worst that could happen, then it is what it is. I'm healing well. I don't have a ton of pain. I mean, I do have some sore spots that are rubbing, but I mean, as far as my extraction sites go, they're healing great. They're almost completely closed. They're not causing me any pain. It's just the spots that are rubbing that are causing the pain. So once I get my denture adjusted correctly, then we'll be fine. Whenever I was at my appointment on Tuesday though, whenever I was handing my denture to the dental assistant, either she or I dropped it and it hit the floor and went sliding. And at first she tried to say that it didn't look like it had any damage, and then she left the room, came back and told me it had a crack in the front. So she fixed it. There was like pink acrylic all over my front tooth. I had to tell her to shave that off. I'm still not thrilled because there's like a bump in the gum, but it is what it is. It's not horrible. Like, my denture still looks good, so I can't complain. But I mean, for 2 weeks, everything's going pretty great. I can't like really complain feeling this good. Only 2 weeks in. Today's officially 14 days, and I mean, it's kind of hard to remember myself with my old teeth. I mean, looking in the mirror, this just feels normal to me already, and I kind of love it. It is what it is. I mean, I'm still kind of weird about my top lip. I don't like the way it looks whenever I'm resting or whenever I'm talking, but that's nothing a little Botox or filler can't fix. And I know, don't get on my case about you don't need it. I know. I don't need it, but I want it. Just something I'm considering maybe in the future, we'll see. But I just wanted to give you guys an update and let you know I'm doing great. If anybody has any questions, feel free to please reach out to me. Things have been slow with healing, but I'm finally on the upside to everything's uphill. I have no complaints. I'm feeling great. I look great. I get so many compliments on my smile, and I feel like I can finally smile with confidence. Like, I love smiling. I love taking pictures. I've never felt this good in my life, ever. I have no regrets, and I'm so happy. Thanks for checking in, and I'll be back soon with another update. Take care.